Patrick, Walk for Lost Kids. I just passed through Thousand Oaks, California, where I happen to know 3 kids that no longer have access to their mother in what I think is just one of the most compelling, straightforward examples of how somebody can blatantly just state they're going to take your children away from you and then achieve it with absolutely no penalty whatsoever. And I don't want to get caught up in focusing on the details of that because frankly it's just depressing, and like the rest of you, sometimes you just get sick of hearing your own stories because you realize that these people aren't going to stop at nothing to remove your children, and the rest of the world just keeps on turning whether you have your kids or not. So in light of that, I'll put some links at the end of the video for more info on that case. But let's focus now on evidence. Courts, by definition, are set up so that 2 parties can present evidence to a situation, and the judge can weigh the evidence and determine which party is the winner and which party is the loser. And there's a lot of fallacies for how that doesn't serve itself well for a divorce scenario. First of all, the most obvious with evidence is that evidence is purchased. If I've got $1,000 in my pocket and I offer any of my viewers out there the opportunity to write a report to prove that I am a chicken, I can guarantee you I have takers that will take my $1,000. Yet in family court, the fees are usually a lot more than $1,000, and the twists of the truth are a lot more subtle, you know. Oh, she's a good mom, but she has some anger issues once in a while. People are getting paid to produce reports, and you know, I don't know how obviously to state that, but if people are paying for reports, guess what? They say what they want them to say. The next thing to keep in mind with the evidence is that the alienating parents that we are dealing with are legitimately both paranoid and delusional. And what that means is that they, in their own minds, actually believe that the other parent is a threat. And so they're completely convincing, because they believe it themselves, in speaking to anybody else and conveying that information. So when they have access to the therapist that's making a recommendation, or access to the custody evaluators, they present themselves very well and very convincingly can charm an evaluator or anybody else in the system that the other parent is a threat. And the third aspect of evidence comes from years of experience of being stuck in the court process and courtrooms. And that's simply this. If you've got two parties and one of them has a pile of evidence a mile high against the other party, and the other party has, you know, a smaller amount of evidence, has, you know, not a large battlefront. 9 times out of 10, what that is an indicator of is it's an indicator of a parent who is more interested in producing evidence than they are in actually taking care of their kids. One of the parents is busy at home being a parent, and the other is busy at home waging a battle in court. And that's where this whole evidence thing also falls apart in the court system. And finally, above all else, the court systems were set up to have a winner and a loser. And in family court, from the child's perspective, splitting everything 50-50 and going home is where the child wins. It might not be where mom wins or dad wins, but kids win when they have access to their parents and when the court system will not allow a divorce to go on till the end of time in bankrupting a family. And so the normal rules of court are failing divorces. And I don't pretend to have all the answers, but the way family court's running right now is not the solution. But shared parenting would be a great first step. Let's give kids equal access to their parents, unless there's some credible physical abuse going on. I don't see why we can't just split custody up 50-50. Thanks.
You can be sure that I will take every step, every measure possible to continue to remove these children from you, because until you get help, until you get your head on straight, they should not be around you. You can be sure of that. And you can use this recording and this voicemail anywhere you want to, because no one is going to freaking complain or argue with me. No one.